This is the Ourvoice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Ourvoice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Ourvoice 360. Let's go! Hey everybody, and welcome to our show, Ourvoice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm your man, Chad Bumgarner, 1/3 of the trio. I have with me Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
And my man, Mike Brown, the Don Dada.
What's happening?
Hey. And with that, let's go ahead and get into it.
And as all you already know from previous shows, our show is sponsored by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And also CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading? And if you would like to become a sponsor of Ourvoice 360, don't be shy or hesitate. Send us an email at ourvoice360@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Hey, Mike, hit us up with that inspiration, dog.
All right,
Come on with it, Mike.
Yo, today is gonna be real personal. Going personal to me. I just want to tell everybody out there, listen, we as people, it doesn't matter your color, we need to learn how to be more proactive instead of reactive. Because when you're reactive, sometimes you act out of emotion. And when you act out of emotion, a lot of times your outcome is nowhere near what you thought it was going to be. So always remember, man, you're only one decision from a whole nother life. You know what I'm saying? You act up, do something crazy, things good today, you could be in prison tomorrow. You could be dead tomorrow. So, let's learn to think ahead a little bit.
Yeah, it reminds me of you saying that reminds me of old Jay-Z Too Short song. It was all good just a week ago.
Yes, sir. Yes,
it
sir.
was all good just a week ago. So yeah, man, that hits right on at home, man, because like you said, one bad decision could ruin your life, whether it's ruining relationships with people or doing something to the point where you do jail time or doing something to the point where you may lose your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because of emotion.
Yep.
Not thinking something through.
Yep.
Could cost you a lot.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Especially in these days and times with the climate that's going on, especially with people of color, it is imperative that we stop and think about what we're doing and how we're going about it. Because, like Mike said, when when you're thinking out of emotion or just raw feeling, that one thought can turn into an action which can either cost you your life or cost you years behind bars. And a lot of times at the end of the day, it's not even worth it.
No.
It's not even worth it if you just stop and think about it. And then number two, there's always a smarter and better way to approach the situation. Whereas a lot of times you can kind of get what you want, out of that situation, as opposed to acting out of pure emotion and feeling.
I think with a lot of things, just to add to what you guys are both saying, a lot of times I think as men, we think we're always supposed to be not just the alpha, but the dominant, the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sometimes it pays to be humble, man. It pays to be humble.
Yeah.
Always remember that.
Yeah, man.
Well, go ahead, Pete.
No, go ahead, Chad.
No, I'm just saying, as we grow older, the thing is, hopefully, we grow wiser.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things when you're saying be proactive instead of reactive. The proactive side of that is the ones that are a little older. Hopefully, they're a little wiser and are able to, reach the youth. The youth has the strength, the energy, the drive to go get it, you know, uh, power and mentality.
Mm-hmm.
The slightly older crowd has the knowledge and the wisdom. If the two can somehow seem to work together, I think we could save the current and future generations. But we have to, like what we're doing now as men, we have to reach out to the younger crowd and be like, look, I know it's not fair. I know it's not right. I know it don't feel right. I know the tables have been turned and they're flaunting it in front of you, but you have to be smart and wise about how you move in that situation, because you don't just want to go all out just off of feeling and emotion and then wind up in the trap that they've set for you. Because a lot of times that's what people are doing. They're trying to set a trap for you to fall into. But you have to be wise and learn how to move better.
And also, to piggyback off of that, Chad, we also need to understand, are we built for the situation to respond to? Because it may be, we may have to humble ourselves to allow somebody else to take care of that problem.
That's right.
Because emotionally, we may not be at the place where, you know, we can go out and say what we really need to say without getting emotional.
Right.
Without, cussing somebody out, or without, brandishing a weapon, or whatever the case may be. We may have to go to somebody else and say, okay, look, this is the situation I'm in. Go to a brother, go to a sister and say, this is the situation I'm in. First of all, how would you handle it? And if it's a situation where you can't, ask for help.
Yeah.
Look, could you help me in this situation? Because mentally, I don't think I can be able to handle that situation.
Get a meet.
Yeah, and that means we have to sit our pride down.
Yeah.
And sit our pride down and say, okay, I need some help in this situation. And ego, exactly, Chad. I need some help in this situation because I know my mentality. I know my fuse is short.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what? The Bible speaks on that. You always are supposed to, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the exact verse word for word, but it speaks about seeking godly counsel. When you face with a situation, a lot of times, and like what Pete was saying, you may not be built for that at that moment or at that time. You need to go seek some counsel. Hey, I need to sit down and talk to you about a situation that I'm facing. How would you go through with it? Or how would you, proceed with the next steps? And then you get insight, excuse me, from various people that you feel like are a little more knowledgeable and have a little bit more wisdom about that situation. And then you take that and then you formulate a plan and you move forward. It's a whole lot better than just going all out based off of emotion and feeling, because when you do that, 10 times out of 10, you'll never get the outcome you're looking for.
That's why I keep God in every decision I make. I pray about every decision, no matter how big, no matter how small. Because if it's his will, I know it's going to go the way he wants it to go. And sometimes, well, a lot of times, I have to sit down and bridle my tongue, as the good book says.
And that's hard to do sometimes. Sometimes your tongue be bleeding because it's hard. Because it's, as a man, it's that ego and that pride. The two things that hurt us the most, that rises up within us, like, you gonna let him do that to you? You gonna let them say that about you? You gonna, the battle is not yours.
And from the great prophet Jay-Z, I will quote another one. He said, "Never argue with a fool, because from a distance people can't tell who is who."
Yes, sir.
That's a good point.
Yes, sir.
Jigga.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to tell you.
Mike, we appreciate that word of inspiration, of encouragement. That is something, that is a word for a time such as this. For the time that we're living in right now. That is truly a word that we all need to admonish and adhere to. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that. But we moving on to my man Pete Hunt with the sports brief. Pete,
what's good, family? Hey, man, I have a couple of things that I want to talk about since the last time we were on here. Yeah, I want you.
day and last night, starry Sunday. Hey, I got to make it last forever. I ain't gonna lie, I still right.
I know that's right.
What?
Look, Keith Sweat.
Keith.
Keef. Keith.
Yes, sir.
Keith.
On the album cover, he had the vest with the leather on it. Used to give him Chess King at the mall.
What?
Come on now. Talk about it.
Oh man. But
Come
back on this sports, man. A couple things we want to hit at. Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
He just signed a max value deal of $7.5 million. Only $1.5 million of that that'll be his base salary, but he only got $550,000 guaranteed out of that $7.5 million. And of course, he has different things and different contract triggers that'll get him up to that $7.5 million range. And I want to ask you guys, first of all, do you think that's a good fit for Cam? And second of all, do you think he sold himself short by having such
I kind of feel like he did sell himself short, because I feel like, and that happens to, and I hate to say this, I really do, but I got to call it like I see it. That happens to a lot of African-American sports athletes. Now, I may have my grievances with Cam on and off the field, but that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, to me, then I feel like at the end of the day, Cam has proven himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's a veteran in the game. And I feel like that is almost a slap in the face to a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Carolina under Cam has had several winning seasons.
They went to Super Bowl.
You know what I mean? Several winning seasons. He has made he is a big part of making the Panthers relevant every year that he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that contract with the Patriots was, I just feel like it was a slap in the face, man. Like, he was just coming in fresh out of college. I mean, you got cats coming out of college making more than that, and they haven't even proven themselves in this arena yet.
I would say,
and this is a veteran right here who's proven.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate on part of what I'm going to say.
Okay.
One, I think he did sell himself short. But we don't know that man's situation. You know what I'm saying?
That's
he
true.
Could, I mean, that might have been the
it's
highest.
Kind of like with Pippen when he took that raw deal in the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, I think he could have got a lot more than 7. Honestly.
But
who else was knocking on this door, though, Mike?
Exactly, and that's what
I'm saying.
And that's what I was going to say. Nobody was knocking on the door, so nobody was wanting his services.
That's why I said it's situation.
Yeah, it's about goods and services.
Yeah,
nobody wanted his services. So you come to a situation with New England, which I think is a fantastic fit under Bill Belichick. I think he's gonna be great under Bill Belichick. But again, being a man and being in the position that Cam has been, a former MVP, took a team to a Super Bowl. I mean, like you said, Chad, many winning seasons at Carolina. I just think, first of all, Carolina put him in a bad situation. First of all, cutting him so late that, you know, he couldn't get the best of the free agent market. So because when he was cut, basically every team had already had their quarterback or their backup quarterback at that time. So you left Cam with for all that he's done for you. You basically spit in his face by releasing him late.
That was intentional.
Yes, exactly. So when teams needed a quarterback, he was not available. So now he's in a quandary where, okay, there's only 1 or 2 teams knocking on my door. What am I going to do? Because I still want to play. I want to prove myself again. And I mean, you know, I think it was a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
The gift was that, you know, he fell to New England. He went to New England. But the curse is he is not getting compensated for his talent.
No.
For his talent level and his ability to play.
Okay, but Pete, let me throw this in here and see what you say about this.
Okay.
Even though he was released late in the season and people already had their backups or whatnot, you cannot tell me that over half the league has a better quarterback than Cam right now.
I agree with you totally. I agree with you totally. And I think a
So
lot.
to me, that and chime in. To me, I feel like it's more than not his services. I feel like
Right.
they don't want some of his antics or off the screen off the field antics that come along with him.
And that could be possible. And that could be
Mhm.
possible. But my thing is this: we have seen many players, whether it's Josh Gordon or Antonio Brown or a T.O. or anybody that has supreme talent. They don't have a problem with off the field because you're so talented. They're going to keep.
Right.
Antonio Brown is a prime example.
But
Antonio
he
Brown,
belong in
he is cutting the food. But the only reason he's not in the league is because of a pending suspension. If the suspension wasn't pending, he'd be on the team right now. Please believe it,
Mhm.
because he's that supremely talented. But I think with the Cam situation, I think it was more of injury. Is he healthy? Can he come back at a healthy level, healthy and play at a high level, which I think he can, and I think he will. But I think a lot of teams were looking at his injuries, the foot, the shoulder, and then again, Carolina doing him so dirty by letting him go so late. I think those two factors are the biggest as far as him, getting signed by New England at such a low rate, such a low dollar amount.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Woo-wee, Patrick Mahomes. Woo!
Yes, sir.
When you say $503 million. This brother just signed a deal with a 10-year deal, $503 million. But wait, there's a caveat in that $503 million. He will only receive guaranteed only $142 million, roughly $142 million guaranteed of that $503 million.
Still ain't bad.
But he got $63 million straight up for sign when the ink dried on the paper. They cut him a check for $63 million. So you get $63 million. You have only $141 million for roughly $142 million of the $503 million deal. The rest of the deal is basically if he hits incentives and roster bonuses. So it looks good, but it looks good on paper. But if you really look at the deal, it's really not a deal to really get excited about because he's not getting a lot of guaranteed money of the 503 million. And if you dig even deeper in the deal, actually it's only a $450 million deal that he actually signed, because to get up to the 503 million, it means for the next 10 years after when the deal kicks in 2022, because he still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. The real contract doesn't kick in until 2022. But he signed for 10 years, 450 million. But to get to 503 million, he has to win. He has to get to the Super Bowl and be MVP every year for 10 years to get to 503 million.
Gee, that's a little rough.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, when you dig deeper into the deal, it's a lot of caveats in the deal, but either way, that's a whole lot of money for that young.
I'm about to say, look, Pete, guaranteed. He got the 63 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 100 and what was guaranteed? 100.
It's guaranteed for roughly 142 million. That's
Okay.
what's fully guaranteed. And
right.
he got
142 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. He got the $63 million check. So that's a little over 200 million. If nothing else, for
no.
That's deducted.
No, the 63 million is deducted from the 142.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not added to the 140. It's 142 total. Roughly 142 total, and he got 63 million of that up front.
Gave him a little 50% incentive.
Yeah, so basically the deal looks good on paper, but actually when you dig into it, it's a lot of things that he has to do to reach that total value of 503 million. Like, first of all, stay healthy.
It's like if he doesn't reach those incentives, he's only basically making what, 7 million a year?
Well, it'll be
over 10 years.
He'll make roughly 10, he'll make 10 million this year coming up, right around, but it's going to go like 5 million against their cap. The following year in 2021, he'll go right around 25 million.
Okay.
Around 25 million, and that's the last year of his rookie deal. So in 2022, that's when he'll be averaging roughly 45 million a year. He'll be averaging 45 million a year for the next. I mean, and it'll fluctuate with inflation and stuff like that. One year it's like 45 million in 2022, and then it'll drop to like 39 million in 2023 or something like that, and then it'll balloon back up to 45 million. So it'll fluctuate from year to year, but it really kicks in when it's really going to hurt Kansas City is in 2027, where he'll make a guaranteed $59 million.
My thing is, okay, once you dig into the contract, you're right. It don't sound that hot, but I mean, doggone, overall, the brother is, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I still think he all right.
Oh no, I'm just saying he's good. Oh, he's fantastic. Oh, he is definitely sitting pretty. There's no doubt about it. But I'm coming from the aspect of people, everybody was excited. Oh my God, he signed for $500 million. He signed for $500 million. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
It's some mess to come with it.
But it's some stuff that comes with stuff that he has to do to get to that 503 million. But right. I would actually say if he performs well and he continues on this trajectory, going up the way he's going and performing the way he's performing, they're going to tear that contract up in probably 5 years and do it all again.
Well, you know what? If I was him and I performed great the next 2 years, I would demand them redo the deal.
Well, it won't kick in until 2022.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The next 2 years, if he's phenomenal like he has been, if I was him, I would come back and say, hey, we need to restructure this deal.
They're not going to do it that early. They're not. There's no way, because that would be the first year of the actual.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That'd be the first year of the actual deal, because these last 2 years is his rookie deal. The last 2 years of his rookie deal. So I would say if he stays at this high level of play and say he may win another Super Bowl or maybe even 2 Super Bowls, year 5 of this deal, they're tearing this contract up. Or maybe even if he out of the next 4 years he wins 2 Super Bowls, they're tearing that contract up. We're gonna have to redo this. But yeah, I was bringing this up. Congratulations to the brother, but I'm also but I'm also want to inform people that contract, it looks good on paper, but once you
gotta research.
Yeah, once you do a deep dive into it and how it's worded and how money is structured, it's a lot of things that he's gonna have to do to reach that goal of that money level of 503 million. But either like you said, either way, that brother is looking good right now. They wrote that brother a check for $63 million. $63 million. And before I get off with my sports page, one more thing. We had a big time college recruit signed with Howard University. A top 10 basketball recruit signed with Howard University. And as of this morning, we have the #1 prospect in college and high school sports that is considering signing with Howard University.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. All it takes is 1 or 2.
The #1 high school, the #1 high school college recruit is seriously considering Howard University. What do you guys think about these young black high school athletes now starting to look at HBCUs?
I think go ahead.
No, right. I went first. Go ahead.
I think it's good. I hate that, everything waited so late for it to happen, but I mean, I think it's good. Maybe it'll start a trend where we can get some money fluctuating back into the HBCU schools. What do y'all think?
You know what, Mike? I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. I think it's an excellent idea what these young men are doing, and I feel like that these HBCUs have always had great talent, whether it was sports or whether it was in academic sciences or whatever. But they never get the look from companies when it's time to go up for jobs. You know what I'm saying? Unless we are being vocal in the news about, hey, come look at us. We shouldn't have to do that. But unfortunately, we do. And another thing, these big time schools that we see in the SEC and ACC and all this, they're always in the top 5 or top 10 every year because of us. Now you'll have the debate that goes back and forth. Well, they're getting a great education. Let's not kid ourselves. You're bringing these kids in to bring you championships, to bring you to bring money into the program, to get you network contracts. Let's not kid ourselves. We know the average kid that comes into the program, these sports programs, if they're really, really good, stay 2, maybe 3 years and then go pro. A lot of these coaches are coaching these kids to go pro. We are not stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this money comes into these schools, but none of these schools put this money back into the communities where they pull from. Now you quick to want to send a representative to sit in Big Mama's kitchen and talk to her and her grandson about his future at Alabama or Florida or Arkansas or wherever. But just as soon as you get them, I don't see any programs from that school going into these environments saying, hey, we're going to help redo the YMCA, or we're going to bring in a STEM program at the community center for these kids to kind of give back. We don't see any of that. Y'all take, but you never give back. Now, every time these players play, especially if they're really exceptional athletes, no matter where this team goes, just like with Mike Vick, people travel because they put butts in seats. People want to see what this cat's going to do on the field or on the court every Saturday or Sunday or Friday, whenever they play. They want to see what miraculous thing they're going to do on the court or on the field. And they pay that money, and those stadiums are full. These schools generate billions of dollars off of these kids. Billions. From watching them play, the TV contracts, to the jerseys that's being sold, everything. These schools survive off the backs of these athletes, and you're telling me that they can't be compensated for that? When I watched the special on the Fab Five, and they were talking about how, the schools were profiting so much off the jerseys and everything else, but they scrounging, trying to get money together to go to Taco Bell just to get something to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, let's bring this back to the HBCU, bring the talent back to the HBCUs, bring the attention to the HBCUs, so you can see that we have high quality schools too, and it's not just the sports program. In the science, the accounting, every aspect, we have bright students at these schools, just like anywhere else. And I understand why a lot of these African-American kids go to these big schools, because when you go to a job, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you, when you go to a job, the people who are hiring you 9 times out of 10 don't look like you. And when they look at your resume and they look at school, they're going to look at schools that they're familiar with. They're not. A lot of them are not going to be familiar with North Carolina Central, Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View. Where is this? What school is that? They don't know those schools. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to set them to the side.
All right.
So I think this is great, and I hope the trend follows, because I really need for people to sit up and take note that you can no longer take us for granted.
Yeah, and I think that the economics will greatly, if these black players decide to go to HBCUs, and the cameras are going to be there, because you are the highest, you are the top of your at your game. So they're going to follow you. ESPN is going to follow you. Fox Sports is going to follow you.
Yep.
So when they do that, that generates money. That generates money going into these black colleges,
That's right.
and that's just a win-win. And I think the climate right now, I think a lot of these young brothers and young sisters had an awakening.
Yeah.
I mean, why take my talent somewhere where I'm not going to be appreciated? And I'm not saying that every school doesn't appreciate the talent, but a black college is going to appreciate your talent a whole lot more than a Duke, a Carolina, a Clemson. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
Or Georgia or Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because
I agree.
at that level, you're just a number basically. I've been around a lot of college athletics, and a lot of guys that I know has played high level college sports. And guess what? You a number, because on that football team, it's 80 plus guys. It's next man up.
I was gonna say that's the motto.
Yeah.
Next man up.
It's next man up. And you're just you cut the fool. Guess what? You gone. Because a lot of people don't realize that when these athletes get 4-year scholarships, it's a 1-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-year contract. People just automatically assume, well, you got a 4-year scholarship. No, that's not how it works. Just like with the Patrick Mahomes situation, when you dig deeper into it, these are 1-year contracts. A coach at any time can tell that player, you got to go home because the number 2 recruit in the country wants to come here, and I need that spot. I need your spot because we don't have any more scholarships. So guess what? You got to go. And a lot of people don't understand that. But I'm really loving these young people, these young black athletes are really now starting to look at these HBCUs. And like you said, Chad, it only takes 1, 2, 3 to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, that's really all it takes. And then these schools are gonna sit up and take note and be like, we need to figure out, well, basically they know what they're doing. These big schools know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. And all I'm saying is, let's bring our talents back home and lift up our own HBCUs, our own colleges, so that they can have that branding power like these other big schools have.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that's it for me. Chad, what you got today?
Well, before we move into that, I think Mike has the Black History moment for us.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of well. Hey, way to go, Chad.
See, that's what happens when I don't pay attention to the script. That's my bad. P, you right. I do have some stuff for you, and I appreciate you, my brother. Well, everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Chad's Leadership Corner, where you will get tips and insight on business and leadership. So with that, let's go ahead and get into it. So today, we're talking about, oh, this is dope. This is so dope. I'm glad we got a chance to get to this segment. In the business section, Jack Daniels and Uncle Nearest take action to give blacks a shot in the whiskey industry. And I got this from Afrotech.com. So Afrotech.com reports several weeks ago the Jack Daniels Distillery and the Nearest Green Distillery announced the Nearest and Jack Advancement Initiative, a program designed to promote diversity and black leadership in the American whiskey industry. Now, according to PRN Newswire, the joint initiative between the two Tennessee distilleries will give $5 million combined toward providing expertise and resources to blacks entering the spirits industry as entrepreneurs. The money will be allocated to create the Nearest Green School of Distilling, whose STEM-based curriculum is being developed in partnership with Motlow State Community College. Now, in addition to that, the pledge will offer apprenticeships specifically to African Americans already in the whiskey industry via the Leadership Acceleration Program, and establish the Business Incubation Program, which will provide access to top marketing firms, brand executives, expanded distribution networks, plus other assets and opportunities to grow their spirits business. Now, quote, generally when companies talk about the need to improve diversity, few immediate action steps follow, said Uncle Nearest CEO, Fawn Weaver, which is an African-American female. Our group is different. We are doers. We all agreed to work together to improve diversity in the industry, and specifically a way to get African Americans into top positions within our industry. And specifically, yeah, within our interests. I'm about to read it again. Nearest Green. Now, here's the backstory on that. You have Jack Daniel's Distillery and Uncle Nearest Green's Distillery. Now, Uncle Ernest Green was a slave of Jack Daniels, and he taught Jack Daniels how to, do the distillery to make the whiskey. So the Jack Daniels that you know today is really not Jack Daniels. It's Uncle Ernest. He took Uncle Ernest's recipe and turned it into what you have now, Jack Daniels. Now, this all came about years ago when the family admitted that the recipe came from the slave. So what they did was they took Uncle Ernest's family and said, hey, this is what we're going to set up Uncle Ernest's Distillery, help you guys do this, this, and this, so on and so forth. So that's why you have these two distilleries and why they're merging and helping to help African Americans getting to the spirits industry, if you will. Just wanted to let y'all know about that backstory.
I used to be in the spirits.
Say what?
I used to be in the spirits, so I got them beat up your ass. But anyway, go ahead.
But actually, Chad, let me correct you on that. Actually, it's Nearest. It's Nathan Nearest Green.
What did I say?
Ernest.
Ernest, yes, you're right.
It's Nathan Nearest. Nearest Green.
It's not Uncle Ernest. It's Uncle Nearest.
Nearest, yeah.
Thank you for that, Pete. I appreciate it. Right.
No problem. Yeah, and if you wasn't gonna say it, I was gonna say it. Because I didn't know where this was leading. Because I was going to say Jack Daniels ain't Jack Daniels without Nearest Green.
Without Nearest Green, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So,
so given their deep commitment to the diversity and inclusion, they're thrilled that they're coming together in this way. The president of the Brown-Forman Corporation, which is the parent company of Jack Daniels. This collaboration allows the extraordinary friendship of Nearest and Jack and the hope they embodied during racially divided times in our country's history to help us advance the next generation of African American leaders in our industry. So that's the business aspect. So they're teaming up, and it appears that even though Jack was the slave owner, he had a relationship with Nearest to the point where he confided in him, and somehow they were able to become friends, even though that was that slave owner type mentality or situation going on. But it's good to see that they're making good on their promise and coming back to the family and, in a way, giving to them what's theirs, kind of. So I thought that was really cool.
Extreme. Emphasis on kind of.
Emphasis
on kind of. Yeah. It's funny how
I think they should have gave the Nearest family 50% of Jack Daniels.
Should have gave them all of it.
It's funny how you have a relationship with somebody that knows something that you don't. But that's another story for another day. It's funny how you befriend people that can help you do something that you couldn't do.
Funny how time flies.
Really, Jan.
When you stealing stuff. Now, okay, let me go on. All right, now to the leadership portion of the leadership corner. It's like so today's topic, I'm talking about how can you be positive if someone has true leadership skills? Well, look for this one rare sign. All right, so we often view any notion of leadership and love led through the spiritual teachings of historical and religious figures like Gandhi and MLK Jr. However, an unlikely icon from the past, legendary Green Bay Packers head coach Vince Lombardi, didn't mince his words in defining how he led with love. And he said, I don't necessarily have to like my players and associates, but as their leader, I must love them. Love is loyalty. Love is teamwork. Love respects the dignity of the individual. This is the strength of any organization. This concept of love in the leadership at work sense is not a feeling, it's expressed as an action verb. In the end, the best of leaders demonstrate love by being open to input from others, even those below them on the org chart. They seek to understand others to quickly solve problems with an agreed solution, and they value their workers as employees and human beings. Love is demonstrated by believing in and trusting in their people, their strengths, abilities, potential, and commitment to the job before they have to earn it. Now, these leaders love those around them by maintaining a high view of them, showing them respect, and listening receptively to their needs in a non-judgmental way. These leaders demonstrate love by providing for learning and growth and developing potential and career paths for others. They demonstrate love by envisioning the future and consistently clarifying goals and expectations to get to the vision. Because of their selfless and loving nature, they share power and decision-making and push authority down to empower others and make them better. Finally, leaders who love a competitive advantage don't do it just for profit or to win, but because they genuinely care for other human beings, which becomes a profitable endeavor in itself in the end. This is the power they hold in their hands that others cannot match. They relate well to others at all levels and promote a sense of belonging and connection for all team members. Truth is, in this social economy, we're creating more leaders unafraid of expressing love, calling it for what it is in the context of providing great leadership. So, if you really want to know, or if you really want to be positive someone has true leadership skills, that one rare sign is being able to lead out of love. What are you fellas' thoughts on that?
I'm with you. It's deep. It's true.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
You gotta have some empathy and some passion for the people that are following you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to step in and treat them as individuals and human beings and not just resources or employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you can't, like I said, Chad, if you can't have any empathy for the people that work under you or the people that work with you, you can't be successful. There's no way you can be successful because you have to have some type of love or empathy for your fellow teammate in whatever job it is. Right. You have to have some type of empathy or some kind of emotional tie to those people because you all want to succeed. Right. You all want to succeed and you all want to be great. So we all have to have some type of emotional connection with the person beside us that's trying to make this great.
I agree. I thank you fellas for your input, and that is it for me. If you would like any more or any leadership development training, team building, coaching, diversity training, please do not hesitate to contact me, 678-571-2773. Remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading? And now, for the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Brown with the Black History. Drop them gems on us, my brother.
All right. All right, fellas. Today we are talking about a man by the name of Marlon Briscoe. Y'all ever heard of him?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Marlon Briscoe is acknowledged as the Pro Football Hall of Fame first black quarterback in the NFL.
I know Pete knew that.
Okay.
You know that, Pete?
No, I did not know that, sir. That's a new one on me.
What?
Yeah, that one slipped through the cracks on me.
Okay.
He's born September 10th, 1945, in Oakland, California. He attended the University of Nebraska. At 5 foot 10 inches, 177 pounds, they called him the magician.
Okay.
He had to be being that small.
In 1966, he was the 14th round draft pick to the Denver Broncos as a cornerback. Okay. But his heart, he knew he had the skills to be a quarterback.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in those days, they thought that black
couldn't
people
handle
were
the
not
offense.
intelligent enough.
Yeah.
Quarterback. You know what I'm saying? First game, he ended up throwing against the Boston Patriots, October 29th, 1968. And as well as the Cincinnati Bengals, and 4 more games that season because the quarterback got hurt on his team, so he stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he was a quarterback that wasn't scared to run. He threw 1,589 yards and 14 touchdowns. He ran 308 yards, scoring 3 touchdowns himself. And despite his accomplishments, he asked to be released from his team. And he went and played in the Canadian League just for a little bit to kind of get some different outlooks on some things. Returns to the NFL as a wide receiver, first for the Buffalo Bills. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Miami Dolphins, including the 1972 season when they went undefeated. Yes.
Yeah.
His 9-year NFL career ended in 1976 with the New England Patriots. And because of him, we have guys like Warren Moon, Patrick Mahomes, Randall Cunningham, Cordell Stewart, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Cam Newton, and so many more. Because of him, he broke
Marlon Briscoe.
Marlon Briscoe.
There always has to be a trailblazer when it comes to us.
Yeah.
There always has to be a first.
Yeah.
And I'm glad this brother was the first.
Yeah.
I mean, because of course, he like anything else laid the groundwork and the foundation for black quarterbacks to come. I mean,
Yep.
So he should be appreciated and honored as such.
I agree.
I thought it was funny because I know a lot of people are looking at this podcast, and it's ironic because none of us talked to each other about what we were presenting today. And mine went right along with Pete's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I mean, I love what I do because not only do I deliver information, but I learn information. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was very, very enlightened, Mr. Marlon Briscoe.
Salute to that brother. Salute
Yes,
to that brother.
Yes, sir.
No, that's right. Well, thank you, Mike, for that Black History. As always, when you drop those knowledge, it made me walk a little taller, hold my back up a little straighter. And I appreciate that.
What I do.
Now we come to the section of You Know How We Do. The segment of the show where you hear about update news on us in the entertainment industry as well as Black achievements overall. So with that, we're going to go ahead and dig in. I really like this, man. This is from the achievement sections. The lady's name is Angie Jones, and she becomes the first ever Black female Java champion. Now, for those of you who don't know, Java is a computer language, just like C++ and so many more. Mm-hmm. All right, so I just want to give you that little piece right there, so you'll know what I'm talking about. So Afrotech.com reports Angie Jones, a veteran of the tech industry and an avid creator of online coding courses, has made history as she was named the new Java champion. Now, Oracle defines Java champions as an exclusive group of passionate Java technology and community leaders who are community nominated and selected under a project sponsored by Oracle. Java champions get the opportunity to provide feedback, ideas, and direction that will help Oracle grow the Java platform. In fact, the group is so exclusive that there are only 299 members globally, period.
Wow.
Jones was the first Black woman ever to be selected for the honor. Too many in the Java world, let me back up. To many people in the Java world, Angie is no stranger. For almost 2 decades, Jones has been in the industry, is on active social media, and teaches several courses on Test Automation University. However, even she hadn't always known what she wanted to do with her life. When her dad suggested that she take a computer class in college so she would know how to use a computer, neither he nor she could have ever predicted the spark that was about to ignite. Angie, a New Orleans native, was enrolled as a business major at Tennessee State University and had a little prior knowledge about computer science or coding. However, her life's trajectory changed during the introductory C++ class she had initially enrolled in to appease her dad. By the end of the course, she had changed her major to computer science, and she also credits her love of Java to her first Java instructor in college. His name is Dr. Ali Seekman, and he was just so passionate. He was Java certified himself, and she took the Java course and fell in love with it and fell in love with the language. By the end of the semester, Dr. Seekman offered to stay over the summer to have a boot camp for everyone or anyone who was interested in becoming Java certified. So she stayed for that program, and he basically taught a lot of them and helped them prepare for the exam. She took the exam that same summer and got certified as a Java programmer, which was unheard of as an undergraduate student. Now, with her doing that, that opened a ton of doors for her being certified before even graduating with a bachelor's degree. When she first found out she had been named Java champion, she couldn't wait to tell her instructor, Dr. Seekman. Now, briefly, she began her career at IBM and then later moved on to LexisNexis, then Teradata, then Twitter, and now Applet Tools. Over the past few years, she has transitioned to what she calls working out loud. This means sharing her knowledge and experience with the wider developer community, hoping to be a resource for the experienced as well as the new developers. She travels frequently to speak at companies, conferences, and teaches workshops. Now, quote, a Java champion is basically someone who is a thought leader in this space, and they're helping to advance the community, end quote, says Jones. For Jones, this is her most important role. So I just want to give a big ups to Angie Jones for becoming the first ever Black female Java champion, and to be in such a illustrious group where there's only 299 members globally. And now she's one of the few. So I want to big up Angie on that.
Yes. Salute to that sister. Salute.
So that's the achievement section.
Fellas.
Now on to the entertainment section. Oh boy. Vivica A. Fox to 50 Cent. You can't handle a black woman, can you?
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
Vivica never minces her words, and she had a few choice words for her ex, 50 Cent. At this point, most of us can agree 50 Cent is the consistent troll on social media, and his latest asinine comments about black women serve as proof he should shut the hell up. Vivica never minces her words, and she had a few choice words for her ex, who I guess apparently deserved every bit of being read, as the sisters would say. In case you missed it, 50 decided to bash black women who criticize him for dating quote unquote exotic women because, you know, he likes the attention. Now this is 50. He says, quote, they get mad, they get angry. And this is his conversation with Lil Wayne. You see a lot of sisters go, you know, you F with this kind of girl and that kind of girl. This blank is exotic. You know, the stuff looks a lot different than the stuff you see in the neighborhood all of the time. He said the stuff looks like it came off the boat. Wow. Anyway, well, Vivica Fox had a few choice words for her ex. While discussing the social media moment during the Cocktails with Queen segment on Claudia Jordan's Fox Soul Talk Show Out Loud, Vivica questioned if 50 could even handle black women. Here's Vivica. Quote, he just has such F-boy tendencies. You know what I mean? When I read that, I was like, really? You would say that because you don't want anyone to challenge you or talk to you. You want somebody to sit over there and be a pretty little dog that you can just pay, end quote. So this is Vivica talking to her co-host about 50. She said, you can't handle a black woman, can you? Ugh. Vivica isn't the only one who had an issue with 50's comments. Reginae Carter seemingly responded to the interview her father played a role in as well. And she tweeted, I'm black, I'm beautiful, I'm enough. I'm exotic, and I'm amazing. I'm one of MF and kind. Now where are my black beautiful queens at? This is just another attack on black women, like the time he caught himself clowning his own co-star, Naturi Naughton's hairline. The rapper issued an apology, but we didn't forget, and we won't forget this one either. What y'all got to say about that?
Well,
a lot of sisters upset right now.
I think Vivica is partly she's speaking out of personal interactions with the man since she used to date him.
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I really don't take everything she's saying with a grain of salt. But I'm speechless on that one. Wow.
Man, just stop talking about my sisters out reckless, please. Just stop. Just stop. I mean, my thing is this: when you denigrate sisters like that, your mama was black.
Yeah,
that's right.
You got black. If you got sisters, your sisters is black. You got black cousins, female cousins, aunties.
Hell, your baby mama black.
Yeah, I mean, whether you like her or not.
Yeah.
Bro, these black men kill me with talking about sisters the way they do. Well, some of them, not all. I mean, what don't you get? What don't you get about the black queen? They're gonna ride for you regardless.
Yep.
They're gonna ride with you. They always have, always will. They are the backbone of the black community.
Yes,
it
sir.
is what it is. So please stop talking bad about my sisters.
I tell you what.
Please.
See if that exotic girl can grease your scalp.
Woo.
It's just real simple.
Yeah.
It's real simple, man. Look, if you don't want a black woman, fine. That's your prerogative. You can get all the exotic women you want.
But don't bash.
But don't bash black women in that quest for getting exotic women or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't stop. 50, stop. Wayne, stop. Whoever, stop.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when it pop off, that exotic girl ain't gonna have your back.
Sure ain't.
Wow.
She gonna run to wherever she came from. I mean, that sister gonna have your back no matter what you think of her.
Yeah.
Yep.
She gonna have your back. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So,
hey,
I just don't understand the bad talk about the black woman, especially coming from the black man, because you came from a black woman.
I was just about to say that.
You came from a black woman. So I don't understand it. And like you said, Mike, Vivica, that's a lot of hurt feelings. Yeah. That feelings is hurt. You know what I'm saying? And you know, past with him and all that other stuff. But brothers, I implore you, whoever brother is watching this, stop bashing our women. Please stop bashing our women, man, because they are our helpmeets.
That's right.
As Jody said, you my rib. Jody said, you my rib.
That's what he said.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So
that's what he said.
Fellas.
All right, well, moving on, fellas. I got one more for you. You're gonna love this one. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mike.
Nothing to get to.
Oh, okay. Kanye West tweets he is running for president in 2020.
I waited for that.
According to BlackAmericaWeb.com,
you could could have wrapped that on up.
Yeah, you could have wrapped the show up on that, man. Come on.
I can wrap the show on up.
Yeah, go on, wrap.
Okay,
We ain't talking. We ain't talking. We ain't talking about that. We don't talk.
We not talking about
He
that.
only
Okay.
running. Look though,
Yeah,
he only running because Kim wanted to be the first lady. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, we not gonna deal with foolishness on this program.
Yeah.
We,
All right. Well, with that being said, that's it for me. Progress is what you do. Achievement is a lifestyle.
yes, sir.
How are you living?
Yes, sir.
And with that, we're gonna end on a Bible verse or a thought for the day.
God bless Kanye.
Oh Lord.
My
Can't deal-
Lord.
Can't deal with foolishness. That's a bunch of tomfoolery right there.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Chad, you should have checked us about that before you brought that up.
I just want to go ahead and Proverbs chapter 1 verse 5. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance. By exploring the meaning in these proverbs and parables, the word of the wise and their riddles.
Need to send that to
Right.
Kanye. Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kanye, that's for you, baby. Somebody email Kanye and give him the link.
No, that's right. We got some words of wisdom for it.
Words of wisdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our segment for today. Thank you for listening to Our Voice
Yes,
360, our perspectives, our ways. All right, that's it. Be blessed, be safe. We are out.
Peace.
Peace.